populists are starting to gain traction in the South. There's an article in the Intercept talking about this. Basically, this gentleman, Randall Woodfin, defeated the Birmingham incumbent mayor, and he was backed by Bernie, by Our Revolution. So this article is by Vigilante, but it points out a bunch of interesting stuff that's happening. One of the things I've been talking about on this show is, we got to get out there locally, and all you guys are taking heed. Many of you are getting involved in your local elections, and this is what we need: a groundswell of populist progressives getting in there. Now, here's what happened in Birmingham. So the mayor was William Bell. He was first elected in 2010. In August, there was a poll said he had 57% of the city said he was doing a good job. But populist challenger Randall Woodfin, a 36-year-old former Board of Education president endorsed by the Bernie Sanders group, Our Revolution, beat him in the first round of voting in August. And on Tuesday night, this past Tuesday, Woodfin finished the job in the runoff, stunning Alabama and winning the mayor's race comfortably. Woodfin defeated Bell with 58% of the vote. How did they do this, right? Gives us all a little roadmap on how to do this on the local levels. And this, as it comes from local on up, this is how we can actually maybe make a change and get some real progressives in there. So who was Woodfin's campaign director of field operation? They worked on Bernie Sanders' campaign. Activist Daniel DeRisso. The Working Families Party, a national progressive organization that was founded in New York but has since expanded nationwide, also played a role in Woodfin's election. 125 WFP volunteers contacted 22,000 voters by text and phone, helping push Woodfin over the top. Randall Woodfin ran on the idea that the people of Birmingham have a right to demand a government that truly works for all of its people, and that a city can provide opportunity and lift up those who've been left behind. Now, Woodfin's platform is not crazy radical, right? He backed Hillary Clinton. But here's some of the things he's going for. He seeks to make community college free for students who graduate from Birmingham's high schools. He wants to extend pre-K and invest in public transit and job training. He also wants to boost the city's police force. And Birmingham has the 7th highest homicide rate of cities over 100,000 people. And the guy is involved. He's doing this on a personal level. Obviously, his nephew was shot and killed during the course of the campaign. And the boy's father, Woodfin's older brother, was killed in a shooting 5 years before that. So he really understands that we need to have some police reform. His election comes just a month after Jackson, Mississippi, the state's largest city, elected Chokwe Lumumba Jr., a young populist who has vowed to make it the most radical city on the planet. In November, Atlanta voters will go to the polls to choose the next mayor. One of the candidates, former state Democratic whip Vincent Fort, a longtime foe of Wall Street and the city's Democratic establishment, is also backed by Our Revolution, as well as Sanders. Although the 12-candidate nonpartisan race makes the results difficult to predict, Fort's impact on the race can be seen in the changing behavior of the city council. The Atlanta City Council just voted to raise the wages of city workers to $15 an hour and decriminalize small amounts of marijuana, both causes Fort had worked towards for years. Should Fort succeed, the largest cities in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia will be run by mayors running from anti-establishment to downright radical, all within the span of 6 months of elections. So, this is one of the things, while it is very, very scary to have Trump in the White House threatening, nuclear war with North Korea and all of his other crazy nonsense, look at all of these populists. Look at all of these people that probably felt some type of, connection to the Democratic Party and realized, man, we can't run on that anymore. We got to give people what we want. We got to fight hard for it. free college education, $15 an hour. These are things we absolutely need. Universal health care. As I reported, people who were victims of the shooting in Las Vegas are having to open a GoFundMe account because they're not going to be able to afford the emergency room bills, which is a sad state of affairs in America. So this is good, and this is why we should support organizations like Our Revolution and the Working Families Party, and see who they're backing. See what candidates they're backing in your local elections. And if there isn't a real progressive or populist running in your local elections, you run, or get somebody to run, because you can get the word out on social media. You don't need to have hundreds of millions of dollars. So this is encouraging to me. This gives me hope, and this is happening in the South. So I'm glad to see this. I'm glad to see Our Revolution, making an impact, and this is the process. This is what we need to do. Start on the local level, get some mayors, some city council people, and stuff like that. As I've said, pay attention who's on your school board. Pay attention who's on your city council. Pay attention who your mayor is getting money from. On down the line. This is how we'll make a change. This is how we'll actually get real progressives in power. We need progressives in the White House, obviously, and the Senate and Congress, most importantly. Thanks for watching the show, and don't forget to support it.